Breaking news. Jaguar Wright is into dominatrix? Let's talk about that.
Ooh, you are listening to the Billy Flint Experience.
Thank you so much for joining me once again here at the Billy Flint Experience. I'm your host, Billy Flint, and you're coming live here from Germany. Yeah.
Okay.
This is, I don't know, this may be a short podcast tonight because before I get into tonight's news, breaking news, I first need to say YouTube is on some bullshit. Coming to find out today that my latest podcast, which I uploaded yesterday, YouTube has, I don't know, it was no more than maybe 45 minutes. I try to keep my podcasting short. I don't like to be overwinded because I kind of look at it as being kind of boring after a while. Most people have a short attention span, so I try to get right to the point as kind of as fast as I can, just to keep the listeners engaged. For those that the few people that actually listen to my podcast. But as I was saying, I found out today from actually a listener, and I had no idea because I don't listen to my own podcast, but this person goes by K.Stewart 3626 actually left a message and said, where's the end commentary? And I was like, what? I didn't understand it, but when I investigated, I found out that YouTube had split my podcast in two. And it's kind of confusing because the first one starts and then it cuts off, and then the second half of it starts again. So I don't know what's going on with YouTube, and I know my podcast and the information that, or my content, it's not that controversial for them to actually, I don't know, shadow ban me. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if anyone else has had this problem, but it was very, very weird and peculiar that my podcast was split in half. So we're going to keep it short tonight, just in case they try to pull this shit again, because I'm rather upset. Again, I don't have a lot of listeners. I don't have a lot of subscribers. And I don't know if no one has ever noticed, but I never asked anyone to like my videos. I never asked anyone to share, because I like to be underground. I like to be kind of like if you know if you know type of platform. That's how I roll. I want to be kind of like underground, or those that like to listen to my content, they'll come back. And that's how I roll. I'm not here trying to get likes. I never ask for donations. I don't really care about any of that. I just like putting out great content, honest content, truthful content, without the spin, without the lies and the misinformation. I'm just not into that. But anyways, getting back to the top of the subject, if anyone has missed it, it's out there. It's on YouTube. Piers Morgan had Jaguar Wright on his show. And those who don't know Piers Morgan, he's a very great journalist. And his content is very in-depth, very eye-opening. He's from the UK, but he's on YouTube, and his work is very, very respectful. And I listen to a lot of his content, but today I was listening to, because of the fact he had DJ Vlad, and he had some other lawyer, I forgot her name, but he had specifically Jaguar Wright on his show speaking about this Diddy debacle, the Sean Diddy Combs case that is being developed right now. And everybody on YouTube is, it's the hottest subject, and everybody's talking about it. So I tuned in and I started to listen to Piers Morgan's show, and I don't have anything bad to say about Jaguar Wright. I don't really follow her. I've listened to a few of her interviews on, I think it's The Art of Dialogue, I believe, or I might be wrong. No, it's not The Art of Dialogue. It's the other one. I'm not for sure which one it is, but it's on YouTube, and I'm pretty much sure everyone knows which one it is. But she's a regular guest, and a few times that I did listen, I kind of took away that what she was saying about the industry, because she says that she has been in the industry, in the music industry. I'm a music lover, and when I was in Atlanta, Georgia, I was a photographer, a commercial photographer, where I was doing photography for some of the record labels. And I would go to these record parties and do the photography. So she has been expressing that she's been in the industry, and she name drops a lot of people that she's worked with, or people that she's hung around, or people that she's been around in the industry. And when I first, maybe 2 years ago, when I stumbled across some of her interviews, I said to myself that, oh wow, I've never heard of her before. So I started researching, and again, I've never heard of her before, up until 2 years ago when she was giving a lot of the interviews. So as I said, she was on Piers Morgan, and I think they did a recording earlier this week to where it was aired today. So I was listening to it, and again, she's talking about the Sean Diddy Combs situation, and she brings up Jay-Z, and she brings up Beyonce, Jay-Z's wife, and she's saying a lot of, a lot of disrespectful things. And I didn't grab the whole interview of her being on Piers Morgan, but it was one particular thing that she said that really stuck out to me. She was saying that she was the reason, and this is the first time that I've ever heard her say that she was a part of this dominatrix lifestyle. I don't know. For those who don't know what a dominatrix is, well, dominatrix is basically a woman who takes the dominating role in BDSM. Okay. BDSM. That's bondage, sadomasochist, leather, chains, whips. And by her own words, she said that she has been into this lifestyle before she got into the music, and this is why she knows a lot of the things that has been going on with the Diddy parties and his freak offs. And again, like I said, throughout her interviews on different platforms on YouTube, she's name dropping people and very like angry. And again, maybe she's, a lot of the people have kind of like just put her into this category of being a very angry woman. And she's doing this for clout. And like I said, I used to watch because she was interesting 2 years ago when she first appeared. She was very interesting. Some of the things she was saying was very, very interesting and very deep, very crazy, like unbelievable stuff. But nonetheless, it was entertaining to listen to. So that is pretty much what I pulled from a lot of her interviews. But one thing that stuck in my mind, like I said, she would yell, she would scream, she would curse, and I kind of took away from it at a certain point that she's a very broken woman, that whatever she experienced had really broken her in half. And then today, like I said, on Piers Morgan, she actually came out and said that she was into this dominatrix lifestyle before she went into the music industry. And that's when it clicked that, wow, okay, now I understand. It all makes sense. So we're going to play a part of this just so those who haven't listened to, or those who haven't tuned in to Piers Morgan, as I always do, I bring forth, as they say, the receipts. So I'm not on here putting misinformation out, or I'm not putting content out just for likes or for controversy's sake, but trying to cue it up right now. Okay, so this is Jaguar Wright on Piers Morgan.
For those who were never at these freak-off parties, what were they like?
See, this is the thing. Everything that I'm about to say to you is not my firsthand knowledge. It is my firsthand witness account experience. I was a sex worker. I was a dominatrix before I got my record deal. That's how I know how the dark world and the sex world and the entertainment world run hand in hand. The sex workers that I have worked with throughout the years and continue to work with even to this day have worn hidden cameras. I have my own tapes. I've seen what they do. The ritualistic behaviors, the drugging, putting girls in the suitcases, dumping them in alleyways. It's horrifying. And it's all done under the protection of, this is going to be paid off. There's another NDA. This is going to be, it's terrible. Everyone knows. And every person that's sitting there trying to act surprised knows very well. See, people keep looking at him like he's the Sputnik that came out of nowhere. This is someone who was designed to be what he is. We got to stop making ditties. And if we're going to do that, then we got to go back. We got to go back to even further, the mentors of these people. Because Diddy was taught how to do what he does systematically.
Okay, there you have it. Now, as you hear, you just heard what she said. She says that she has her own tapes. Let that sink in for a minute. I'm going to pour me some champagne. This is actually is what they call in Germany. This is called alcohol-frei. It's alcohol-free. I don't drink, but I'm on my my 50 Cent vibe tonight. I don't drink alcohol, but I had to pour some champagne for this. One more time. She says that she has her own tapes. Oh yeah, let that sink in for a minute. Take that in. Let that marinate. She has her own tapes, which means possibly that she was a part of these Diddy parties. Now, doesn't take anything away from the fact that she's exposing what has been going on inside of the music industry. I applaud her for that. I applaud her for that. But it still does not take away the fact that I think that she is a broken woman. And I'm not saying that to be mean or vicious or hateful. It's rather sad. It's really sad that possibly the things that she has seen, the things that she has been a part of, has brought her to this moment in her life right now. And now I understand why she speaks with such vitriol. You know, her language is very acidic. And it's kind of sad, but nonetheless, she expressed and she said this with her own words that she has been a sex worker. I have to keep stopping myself because, you know, like I said, YouTube is on some bullshit, but she expressed that with her own words. And now I guess I can clearly understand the reason that she's out in this space on these platforms exposing the industry. And again, I have to give her applause for that. But nonetheless, I believe that there is a need for some therapy. And again, I'm not saying that to be funny. I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm not saying that to be hateful. And to make matters worse, as I stated before, there's a few content creators that I listen to from time to time, and of course it's DJ Academic. He's funny. I like his work. And Doggy Diamond, I like his work. I like what his content, what he brings as far as content is concerned. And of course, Star, which is, to me, is like the OG of YouTube. He's been doing this for quite some time, since I think since the early 2000s. But I listen to him from time to time, and being that I'm here in Germany, I'm never able to catch a lot of the content from America live because of the time difference. I think when they air their live productions, it's kind of like 2-3 in the morning here, and I'm asleep, so I don't usually stay up. So I'll catch the recorded podcast of these few content creators that I listen to. But today, she on Star, he was also talking about the Piers Morgan interview. And from what I gathered from listening to his show, again, he was expressing what Piers Morgan was talking about. And of course, they were talking about, again, the hottest topic on YouTube, or really the hottest topic in the news, is this Sean Diddy Combs SA allegation. So again, I was listening to Star, and to my surprise, Jaguar Wright calls in, and she lost her mind. I mean, she just lost it. And I would have had a clip, but I know for a fact that Star, if you take any of his content, he will strike it as copyright infringement, and it'll have your upload, your podcast pulled. So I don't have any of that, of what happened. But if you know Star, the Star Report, you can listen to him on YouTube. And again, it was today's show, so I'm pretty much sure it's still fresh. And it was towards the end of the show where she called in, and it just totally took a complete left. They argued. Of course, Star had to take over his show. There was some expletives, curse words. They were going at it. It was kind of comical. It was pretty funny. I enjoyed it. But again, it showed more of the mental state that Jaguar Wright is in. Because again, Star did not say anything disrespectful about her in her interview with Piers Morgan, but she took it left field. And not only her, but I guess it was her boyfriend or maybe her husband, got on the phone, and it was a mess. It was a complete mess. And again, like I say, I don't know much about Jaguar Wright other than what platforms that she's been interviewing on, and she exposing a lot of what's going on inside of the industry and inside of the music industry. But when she acknowledged the fact that she was a dominatrix and that she is a SEX worker, and that she has her own tapes, and she has her own people. She says also that she has people out, because I didn't pull all of the interview, but she did also say that she has people that she work with that have hidden cameras. and they go to these parties, and so she has her own tapes. Very troubling. Very, very, very troubling. Very troubling. And I would say at this point that she needs to really watch what she says from this point on, because being on a show like Piers Morgan, which is he has a very large following, being it that he's from the UK, and by her expressing what she expressed today on this show, it's very, again, it's eye-opening, it's shocking, and it's a tell-all. So I would say she needs to lawyer up. She needs to get some lawyers in her corner right now, because she was saying some very, very interesting things, again, about Jay-Z, about his wife Beyonce, and I don't know, again, maybe this was just all a part of entertainment. Who knows? Because it seems that's what YouTube is about. So it's about entertainment, I guess, and people putting out this information, this content, and it's not necessarily factual, and in most cases it's hurtful. But again, go to Piers Morgan's page, listen to that interview. It's very interesting. Again, he had Jaguar Wright, DJ Vlad, and I can't remember the lawyer's name. It was another person on there. And again, the whole show was kind of like circled around Sean Diddy Combs' essay allegations and what's going on with them putting this together. But again, it was I'm still kind of like out of my mind from hearing her actually say something like that. So it's going to be interesting to see how this turns out, because I'm pretty much sure a lot of people are going to talk about it. Because at this point right now, Jaguar Wright has I guess, garnered a lot of followers, a lot of listeners, a lot of people kind of like on her side in this firestorm of what's going on in the world right now with the entertainment industry, with the music industry, and with the film industry. And a lot of these allegations are coming to the forefront. They're surfacing to the top, and it's bringing a lot of people down. But again, like I said, I really feel sorry for Jaguar Wright, because it seems as though she is a broken woman because of the things that she's experienced. And it's kind of sad, but nonetheless, it's interesting. So that's my thing. That's what I wanted to actually wanted to bring forward and talk about, because it's gonna get very, very hot, these subjects, in the following days, the following weeks, the following months. But we're gonna stay on top of this. We're gonna keep our eye on this. I'm gonna keep my eye on this. And, see where this goes. Thank you so much for listening to the Billy Flint Experience. I am your host, Billy Flint, coming in live from Germany. Thank you so much for listening. We will be back with you again soon. Want everyone to have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Be safe. Take care of yourself. Talk to you soon.
Here comes the whore. Hello, whore.